Now I continue this lesson solid state. The question number 1. What are the characteristics of ionic crystal? The ionic crystal, good example, sodium chloride. The sodium chloride picture I have given at the corner. Here sodium ions, it shows us yellow color, and chloride ions are green color. Okay, so before we discuss the points, first you set the common salt in your mind. Now point number 1. The ionic solids sodium chloride have high melting points. Point number 2. These solids do not conduct electricity because the ions are fixed in their lattice position. Point number 3. They do conduct electricity in the molten state or when dissolved in water because the ions are free to move in the molten state or solution. Point number 4. They are hard as only strong external force can change their relative position of ions. Okay. What is a molecular solids and its types? The molecular solids have 3 types: non-polar molecular solids, polar molecular solids, the third one, hydrogen bonded molecular solids. The first one, non-polar molecular solids. Here the molecules are held together by weak dispersal forces or London forces. The non-polar molecular solids have low melting point and are usually in liquids or gaseous state at room temperature. Example, naphthalene, anthracene. Have you seen naphthalene ball? The naphthalene ball has these characteristics. Next, we are going to see the polar molecular solids. They are held together by relatively strong dipole-dipole interaction. They have higher melting points than the non-polar molecular solids. Example, solid carbon dioxide and solid ammonia. Okay, third one, hydrogen bonded molecular solids. The constituents are held together by hydrogen bonds. They are generally soft solids under room temperature. Example, solid ice, glucose and urea. Okay, just now we have seen the 3 types of molecular solids. Now we are going to see what is crystal lattice. The crystal lattice is nothing but is characterized by a definite orientation of atoms, ions or molecules related to one another in 3-dimensional pattern. The regular arrangement of these species throughout the crystal is called a crystal lattice. For example, many red bricks are loaded in a vehicle. The huge amount of red bricks are showing as a crystal lattice. Okay, now what is unit cell? A basic repeating structural unit of a crystalline solid is called a unit cell. As I told you earlier, the huge amount of red brick. From the red bricks, you have to take only one brick, that is called a unit cell. It's for understanding. Okay, here the huge amount of crystal lattice are present. The atoms or ions are arranged in an order by which we can make a crystal lattice. The atoms denoted as rose color dots, that is lattice points. In the crystal lattice, at any corner we can make a unit cell. As I told earlier, the unit cell is nothing but one brick, red brick. The crystal lattice are huge amount of red bricks. Okay, what is a primitive and non-primitive cell? Through the diagram, we can find it, the primitive and a non-primitive. In the primitive cell, all lattice points are joined. In the non-primitive, one lattice points are missed. Okay, here we see the definition. A unit cell that contains only one lattice points is called a primitive unit cell, which is made up from the lattice points at each of the corners. The non-primitive cell, there are additional lattice points either on a face of the unit cell or within the unit cell.